Leigh. Mackenzie, I want to give you kudos for making the connection with Leigh. So at our last meeting, we were talking about, actually, it might have been the last couple of meetings, we were talking about how we're seeing gaps in services with our military, our veterans, and our military connected families. So Mackenzie was nice enough to connect me with Leigh, who's going to give us a little bit of information about her school and the Purple Star program. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but
Yeah.
but learning about that because I know Janine and I, and it's us for the prevention team. So the whole prevention team at ZEV is really looking at reaching out for our military connected families and providing some services. So I thought bringing Leigh in would be a really nice opportunity for us to learn about this because when we talked about it at the other meeting, I kind of saw a lot of nodding that we really don't have specific services for this population. And I feel like most of us need a little bit of an education with that. So I'm going to pass it over to Leigh. So go ahead and tell us about your program.
So I think it was in 2017, we noticed kind of the same needs that you had mentioned. And we live by the military base, the 180th here. And so we file or, put in a grant for the Purple Star School. And what that means is it's not a money grant, it's more of a resources grant. So then the Purple Star community, and the liaisons in Ohio will help you with all the resources you need for any student that needs those resources and accommodations while their parent might be overseas or just serving in the military, or they have maybe PTSD from when they were in the military, just all the different, the whole gamut of what can a child can go through if they're in a military family, or just, the transition from one school to another more often. So really what they do is they provide us with resources. We have, pamphlets, we have camps, we have all different places they can go, mostly in the summer. There's also like grief counseling. There's all different types of counseling that we can hook them up with. We don't have it in our school, but we know how to help them. So none of this is actually in the building, but except for the resources to help them get there. We have a place called Hooves very close to us, which is kind of like a horse farm, but they also do rage painting and yoga with goats. And you can watch the horses interact and try and guess what their personality is and what your personality is with their personality. They have a meditation walk that's a silent, as much as you can be silent, right next to the base there with all the planes flying over. But you just walk through there with your barefoot in the back. They just have a path through this pasture. It's really enlightening. You put these headphones on and you can listen to like meditation music while you go, or you can just be silent. Um, so that's a really cool resource that we have in our area for our students, and we like to take the kiddos there. And we can file for more money, but also Hooves has grants to pay for it too. So it just kind of works together. And we've taken kiddos out there, whether they were we have a class called Zen Zone, and they can go out there and just do that. Or, our military youth can go out there as well. And we can also send families out there. People can spend the night. They have little cabins where people can spend the night. So that's a huge resource for us here in Swanton. Every November, we have a huge Veterans Day assembly at Swanton schools, but we also at the middle school host a military breakfast where we invite all the families in and we have a breakfast. There's the man in charge of all of this. His name's Pete LaPipa. He's always available, always easy to communicate with, and he has lots of work that he has to do. But he makes himself available to you. So he'll come out, he'll speak. He's given us coins to put up in our hallway. At that breakfast, it's just a great time to get to know the parents and let them know, like, we're here for you. Here's the resources. We can do whatever you need. Just reach out. And, we reach out every once in a while just to them to see how they're doing. We have a Purple Star wall that just holds all the families pictures that are in our building so that they know they're special to us. Um, and we always in April have like a military spirit week, where we, wear red, white, and blue or purple for the Purple Star. Or like it's like a college day where your 3E day. So you can wear your enlistment clothing, stuff like that. So those are just all the resources we have. And so this is we just, for the third time, you have to reapply for it every 2 to 3 years. So we just got it again in April. So we're excited to continue on this journey with Purple Star at Swanton Middle School. But I'm open to any questions. I'm not 100% sure what you're looking for, but I can answer them if I know the answer.
Yeah, thank you, Leigh. I think that is just so neat. And I'm trying to remember, I think it was you, Mackenzie, when we were talking about this initially, and I mentioned the Purple Star Award, and Mackenzie was like, oh, I know the school that had that. And I think most of us didn't realize that it was literally right in our backyard, which is such a neat thing. So I guess one of the questions I have is, you're with the middle school. Is this something that is just the middle school, or is it district wide? I mean, is this just you guys?
It's just the middle school that has the designation of
Okay.
Purple Star, but we're in the middle, so we have a lot of high school families and elementary families. So we do help, when we invite families in, or we have it includes their high schooler, anyone that's graduated, their elementary kiddo, but we are the only ones that have applied and got the designation.
Okay,
Some
because that's what
schools
I
are,
was
yeah, some schools do
wondering.
have it district wide, but because every school has applied, but we are the only ones that did apply for it. And middle ages are sometimes the hardest. At least we think
Okay.
so. Um,
Yeah.
and like I said, we are in the middle, so it doesn't leave out the high schoolers or the elementary kiddos.
Okay, because that's what I was wondering too. And what about veteran families? Does that fall into this,
Yes.
or is it just active
Hmm.
military? Okay, okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Yep.
And I love the idea of hooves. Many of you know that I used to do equine assisted psychotherapy, and I went to the state of Delaware in April to assist them with a statewide presentation, bringing in horses in counseling sessions with the emphasis on gambling disorder. And anybody, and Janine knows this, her dad had a horse, and that connection, when it's difficult to reach some families and some people, especially our veterans and our active military, being around horses just brings out almost a magical experience for them. So I think that's really neat. I didn't realize you guys had that much of a connection with hooves. What a great place to be connected with.
Yeah, it really
Awesome.
is.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions for Leigh?
I just stuck one in the chat. I was surprised when I looked up Purple Star schools in Ohio. I put the link there. It shows a map, and there's a lot of Purple Star schools in Ohio. So I was curious to get that recognition. Like, do you guys share ideas of things you do to maintain the Purple Star Award, or kind of like we do in prevention for like Red Ribbon Week and stuff? We always share ideas of things that we do around the school. So I was just curious if you guys communicate with other Purple Star schools.
Yeah, we were one of the Elite Eight. So it started with just 8 schools in Ohio, let alone America. And now it's spread to almost all 50 states. And that Pete Lapiba I was talking about is just amazing, and being available to everyone all the time. There's also a group, yes, a Purple Star liaison group in Ohio. Especially, I have a group here in Northwest Ohio that we discuss probably monthly via email. It's never super formal. There's something coming up in Anthony Wayne. I think it's the first week of August. And Anthony Wayne is hosting it for the area, just to share ideas and things like that. We have it is kind of hard to get, because Purple Star, at least unless you're a military family, you might not know about it. So we do try to promote it and put it on our social media. It's on our website. So we do try to get our name out there and our face out there, having this Purple Star, so that other people, just at least so our community knows. So that's just advice I would give to another school. Um, and to join these meetings when possible, and always communicate with with Pete LaPiba anytime you have an idea, because he'll be like, oh yeah, this person did this. You should call, get a hold of them. Here's this. He's high energy and ready to go all the time.
Well, can I ask one more question to follow up on that? Do you
Yeah.
ever get any follow or feedback from anyone within the district, or like some of the events that you've done, like how it's impacted them and helped them?
Well, I do know of a family that the mom actually is like, um, maybe a nurse in the military. So she was overseas for a while, and she was just before she left, we met with her and her husband and the whole family and the entire, I think the student was in 6th grade at the time. And she just said she felt so much better being able to leave, knowing that we were here and knew how to help support her kiddos while she was gone. It was amazing. It's just amazing. I've never heard any negative feedback, which is really good. And everyone's usually very thankful when we have like the breakfast or reach out to them to provide resources. But other than that, I haven't really, like I said, no negative. All the positives. Just a lot of thanks. This is really cool that you guys get to do this and stuff like that. So.
What a privilege too. I mean, that's such a neat position to be in. And I appreciate the questions too, Janine, because I think for something new to a lot of us, we do have a lot of questions. Is there any way, anything that we can do to help you with your school and this program? I mean, I would love to start getting involved in some of these meetings just for our knowledge, and especially as some of us move forward to provide services, and most of us work under grants, so it would not be a cost to the school. But I know one of the trainings that I shared that I took was military culture. And then a young girl also talked about military connected youth. And she was a self proclaimed military brat is what she called herself, but she went on to explain what that meant and how she wore that with pride. And I just remember thinking, I never thought about this population, and there are very specific needs, and how can we learn more about it to be able to tailor some of our programming to help the families? So is there anything that you can think of that we can do to kind of help understand this and promote this?
I'm not sure. I mean, like Janine said, if you do work with other schools, just mentioning it and getting the word out there that that this is available to you, and I think you apply. You can apply. Usually apply in November, and then you'll know by April whether you got the grant or not. And just keeping your eye open for kiddos like that and making sure that your school is prepared, even if you don't get the Purple Star grant, just reach out, ask me. I mean, I can provide you with the resources. They're not a secret, but I can also, anytime I think of it or get an email from them, I can forward it on to you just so that you can see what's going on in the Purple Star world.
That'd be great. Because I can pass it out, to everybody so that we have that contact. Because I was going to ask for Pete's information too, to just be able to connect with him and see, because I know some of us provide trainings and presentations virtually too. So if that's something
Mhm.
that he has contacts across the state or even the nation,
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's a wellness workshop, whether it's a stress management training, anything like that.
One thing you can do is follow him on Twitter.
That's why I love doing, meetings like this where we're from all over the place, because this is what happens is and Leigh, you do know Brian, correct? I'm guessing because you guys
I've
have
seen his names on a lot of emails, but I don't know if I've seen his face.
okay, because you have what, 3 therapy dogs in your district, Leigh?
Yes. Wait,
Okay,
yeah. Yes, 3.
yeah.
One
So
in each building.
okay. Because Brian, when Leigh and I were talking, I mentioned you, you as a resource to help the people, that the counselors or whoever, who has the therapy dogs. And this is why we do this, is to make those connections. So,
Well, and I'm
Brian,
thinking,
usually,
Lee,
I'm
oh,
sorry, go ahead.
I'm just sitting there thinking, since COVID hit and I had to try my hand at making these videos and kind of learn the groove of it, it's been a nice little blessing. So I'm thinking reaching out to Pete would be a great interview to do to gather more information. He could share some
He'd love
resources.
that.
Okay, cool.
yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Brian, you probably normally work with Tony Mena in our district.
Yeah, we were actually just out there probably 5-6 months ago. We did active aggressor training for
Yeah, I
those.
thought you looked familiar. I was at that training, but there was a lot of you.
Yep, absolutely. He's integrated us into the school to help you guys out as a resource. So always here to help you
Awesome.
out.
Very cool. Very cool. Anybody else have any questions for Leigh?
So just a comment real quick about that community interaction. I know Leigh sees it from a different aspect, but before I started in this position, I'm just a parent, seeing the Facebook posts and the Facebook lives of some of the welcoming home parties and things like that. She's done a few surprises where parents have come home from the military and like dad's behind a screen. So our community really embraces that. And I think a lot of people that are new to the Swanton community don't realize how close we are to the 180th and how many kids are affected. So it's nice to see the school really kind of embracing that and taking control of those kiddos and how meaningful that is for the families that are either deployed or back home and readjusting, transitioning. So it's good.
And I guess I didn't even think about it until you just said that, Mackenzie, but how the other students are learning from this.
Yes.
What some of
Absolutely.
those struggles might be, why you might see somebody who may be not quite as engaging as a new student because this is
Yep.
the 5th school they've been to.
Yeah.
And maybe just creating a little bit of that empathy awareness, that's so neat. What a privilege. What a really neat thing. Very cool. All right. Well, Leigh, we appreciate it. This was so helpful. I think it gives us a little bit clearer idea of where some of us want to go to be able to assist this underserved population. And whether that's, in your school district or like Janine said, some of the others that we didn't even realize had this designation. And I know my daughter is married to a Marine, and they don't have kids yet, but I see the struggle that just a couple experiences. And it's hard. And I can't imagine what the kids are going through time after time, moving here and moving there. So I feel comforted knowing that we have this resource. And I'm thinking if I was a military family, I would probably look for a school district that has this just for that specific reason, because it is such a great need that oftentimes goes unmet. So no other questions for Leigh? Okay, and Leigh, if you would like, I am happy to add you to our list here. We meet, once a month on Thursdays, and it might be something that would be beneficial for you to just kind of stay connected or get connected with some of the people on the meetings. I just always say you can never have enough networking because you never quite know where it's going to lead. I'm looking at the people around here, and it's like all the connections that we've made over the years. It's just really cool. So
yeah, thanks for having me, and feel free to add me. And thank you, Mackenzie, for including me.